Hey everyone, it's Miss Gibson, and it's my favorite time of year. I love fall and October and Halloween, so today we are going to read Arthur's Halloween by Marc Brown, and I hope you like it. It was the night before Halloween. Arthur's family was busy making the house look spooky. It looked so spooky, in fact, that Arthur had trouble falling asleep. Things were even worse the next morning. Help! Screamed Arthur when he opened his eyes. It's just me, said his sister, D.W. Boy, are you jumpy. Don't forget, you have to take me trick-or-treating tonight. Do I really have to? Asked Arthur as he ate his cereal. You really do, said his mother. And I want to go to every house, said D.W. Arthur groaned. I'll be the only one who has to drag his baby sister along. Arthur didn't recognize anyone at school. There was a giant robot in his classroom taking attendance. You sound just like my teacher, Mr. Marco, said Arthur. I am your teacher, said the robot. The only one Arthur recognized was the brain. He was wrapped in aluminum foil. I'm a baked potato, said the brain. Francine passed out special morning snacks. Eat these, she said. They're bat-wing brownies and vampire blood. Everyone ate them but Arthur. Then they all put on blindfolds. Buster passed around bowls he said were filled with human eyeballs, hearts, and brains. Arthur turned pale. When it was his turn, he wouldn't even touch them. What a scaredy cat, said Francine. Chicken, said Muffy. They're only peeled grapes, jello, and cold spaghetti. When it came time to go trick-or-treating, Buster knew which houses to skip. Don't go there, he said. They only give apples. Gross, said Francine. And don't go to the big house on the corner, said Buster. That's the witch's house. My brother saw someone go in there last Halloween, and he never came out. Arthur tried not to look afraid. Arthur and his sister had trouble keeping up with the others. First, D.W. got her tail caught. Then her bag broke. You're such a pain in the neck, said Arthur. D.W. must be short for dimwit. But D.W. didn't answer. Arthur turned around just in time to see her disappear into the witch's house. Arthur's hands turned ice cold and his heart began to race. He walked up to the spooky old house. The front door was open just a crack. Slowly, Arthur went inside. Look, cried Buster. Arthur just went into the witch's house. She'll probably put Arthur and D.W. into her oven, just like Hansel and Gretel, said Sue Ellen. Maybe she's using them for weird scientific experiments, said the brain. I bet she locked them in the cellar to starve, said Buster. Maybe we should follow him, said Francine. Maybe we should call the police, said Muffy. Everyone was too scared to move. Inside the house it was very cold. Arthur thought he saw ghosts all around him. He walked down a long, dark hall. At the end, he saw a light under a door. He heard voices. One was his sister's. Oh, there you are, said the witch. We were waiting for you. I came to get my sister. We have to go. I hear my mother calling us, said Arthur. I don't hear anything, said D.W. My name is Mrs. Tibble. I hope you won't leave without some cider and donuts first. They're chocolate, your favorite, said D.W. I've waited all night for trick-or-treaters, but you're the only ones, said Mrs. Tibble. Years ago, our doorbell never stopped ringing. Maybe it's broken like the windows, said D.W. Mrs. Tibble nodded. It is harder for me to keep up with this big place these days. Maybe if we help you fix up your yard, the place won't look so spooky, said Arthur. Arthur finished his donut as Mrs. Tibble opened the door and turned on the porch light. She gave Arthur and D.W. a big hug. See you Saturday to rake leaves, said Arthur. You're still alive, said Francine. I can't believe you went in there alone, said the brain. You're so brave, said Sue Ellen. What's in the bag? Asked Buster. Probably eyeballs, hearts, and brains, said Francine. It's easy to find out, said Arthur. Just close your eyes and reach in. Unless you're too scared. We've been to every house now. Can we take the shortcut home through the cemetery? Asked DW. The cemetery? On Halloween? Are you guys crazy? Asked Francine. Follow me, said Arthur as he marched ahead. The cemetery is a great place. People are just dying to get in. Now that we've read Arthur's Halloween, we are going to do a project to go along with it. We're going to draw and design our very own haunted house, just like the witch's house that Arthur and DW went into on Halloween. So to do this, you are going to need a sheet of blank paper, you're going to need a pencil, and then later you're going to need either crayons or markers. Let's get started. Okay guys, we're going to start our haunted house by drawing 2 lines around the center of our paper. That's going to be the top part of our haunted house. Then we're going to start on the roof by making kind of an upside down V. You see I didn't connect these lines because we're going to add a little curve to the edge of the roof because that'll make it look just a little more creepy. Then I'm going to come to this side and add a little more to this side of the roof. Add another curve there and then draw kind of an angled line towards the bottom of the page, but I'm not going all the way down. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. This is the next part of our haunted house. And add my curved line. So this is where our house is going to meet the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and add the line for my ground here. Now I'm going to go back to the house. I'm going to start by adding some windows. Now it doesn't matter if your lines for your windows are straight or not, because we know that haunted houses are a little creepier if they're a little crooked. I'm going to go ahead and add my window panes. Do the same thing on this side. So like I said, I'm making them a little crooked on purpose. And my lines for my window panes are also a little crooked on purpose. I'm going to add another window on this side. Just going to add one over here. Make it a little crooked. I'm going to add my lines for my window panes again. And the same thing on this side. Make a big window. I'm not too worried about it being straight, because like I said, it doesn't have to be. Now we're going to add our door, but our house is going to be lit from the inside when we're finished, so our door is just going to look like it's open a little bit. So we're just going to do a nice open doorway. This is going to be the outside of our door, and we're just going to make it look like it's open just a little bit because we're going to color this. So the next thing, what's a haunted house without a nice creepy full moon? So we're going to add a nice big round full moon like it's peeking around the side of the house. And after that, we are going to add a creepy tree. So we're going to put that on this side. So remember, we're going to make a nice curvy trunk. It's okay if it touches your house. I'm going to come on this side, and again, make a nice curvy trunk, and I'm going to start with a branch. Now you know that nice creepy tree branches have lots of little creepy shootouts, so then we'll add another branch. And you can do as many or as few as you want for your limbs. I'm going to give mine a few. I want to make my tree look as creepy as possible. One more going back towards the roof of my house. Your tree can look any way you want it to. I think I will add one more tree branch that's going to go behind my house. And I can look like it's over here. Alright, and I think only one more thing we need for our outline. Let's put a jack-o'-lantern over here. And a jack-o'-lantern is pretty easy to draw. You're going to do like 2 half circles, almost like a heart. Don't forget the stem, and I'm gonna put a jack-o'-lantern face with a nice round mouth on it. So now you are finished with your outline. Now that our outline is finished, we're gonna start to color. So first, we're gonna do the windows and the moon. So I'm gonna take my yellow, because like I said, our house is going to be like it's lighted from the inside. So you're gonna be able to see light coming from inside the house to outside the house. So we're going to color in all of our window panes. And if it's a little messy, that's fine, because again, this is a haunted house. It's supposed to look a little bit creepy. So you're gonna color all of your windows. The moon's going to be yellow, and don't forget, the face of your jack-o'-lantern is also going to have your yellow from where there's a candle inside of your jack-o'-lantern. So you're going to make sure to get all of the lighted spaces. Oh, and don't forget your doorway as well. I'll go ahead and do that so I can't forget. Because remember, your house is going to be dark, and it's going to look like the door is open just a little bit. Kind of like something could be telling you to come on in, just like the witch was in Arthur's story, even though we found out she wasn't really a witch. So once you get all of your yellow colored, then we'll add a few more details. Now that we're finished with all of the light in our picture, we're going to add the black. There is more black than anything else in our picture. Everything is supposed to look like it's in shadow, so we're going to make all of it black. The trees, the house, the ground, even our jack-o'-lantern. You can use crayons or markers. For mine, I'm going to use a marker just because I think it's darker and it makes the house stand out a little better. But you're going to go through and color everything black. This way it looks like it's nighttime and our house is in a shadow that's only lit by the moon and the lights from inside. Kind of gives it a creepy vibe, just like Arthur's friends thought about the witch's house. So we're trying to imagine that we are in that kind of spooky situation when we see this house. Some parts of your picture might blur together a little bit, like the edge of my house and my tree, but that is okay because I think it just adds to your creepiness factor. Because you want this house to look haunted and spooky. So it is going to be kind of covered in shadows. If it were a real house, a tree could definitely cast a shadow onto your house. So just make sure you get everything colored in nice and dark. I've got to go back through and smooth out some of these little white spaces I have. That's going to be okay. So remember, we're just working on shadows right now. Also remember that you can pause this video at any time and go back and watch anything that you need to again. The last thing we're going to do is color in our background. We are going to do our night sky, and it's going to be nighttime. So I have black, I've got several shades of blues and purples, and I even have a pink to highlight a few areas. So you can pick any color to start with. I think I'll just start with a regular blue. And very carefully, you're not even going to have to color it in really dark or hard. I'm just starting in a corner, and I'm going to lightly shade in my background. You can leave white spaces, it's okay, because we are going to use lots of different colors to do this. So just make sure you go around to most of the spaces Be sure not to get in your yellow because we want to keep that nice and bright. But since everything you colored is black, you don't have to be super careful not to color over it, which is my favorite part about this, because I can be a little messy. And I left my one little piece of white right there. We'll go. So, what I think is fun about this is you don't have to make it super perfect. You're just shading in a little bit at the time. So once you get the first part, then you just pick another color. I'm going to take a purple. Again, I'm just going to start from the same corner and lightly go over everything I did in blue. So that adds a purple layer on top of my blue layer. And you're just going to do the same thing for your background until you end up with a color that you like. Because I know it's supposed to be nighttime, I think I would like mine to be a little darker. So I'm going to go over, like I said, with all of my different blues from my crayon box and all of my different purples from my crayon box. And maybe even a little bit of black at the end. Because I just want to make this look like it's a nice, spooky Halloween night. If you want to lighten it up a little bit, that's when you take like your pink. And I don't want a lot of pink, but just a little bit, kind of like at sunset. You get a little bit of pink in your sky as it's getting darker. So this will just highlight a few areas. I'm not even going over everything with it. And like I said, just keep shading in your background with your different colors until you get something that you like. And there you have it, our spooky haunted house at night. Remember, it looks like it's in shadow where everything is black. We have our nice full moon, and we have our night sky in the background, and our jack-o'-lantern. So I can't wait to see what you guys did for your haunted houses. I hope you enjoyed Arthur's Halloween by Marc Brown. I can't wait to see you all on Google Classroom, and I can't wait to see your haunted houses. See you later.